Today, I will have a presentation about a paper, DARPA Internet Design. The Internet Protocol Suite TCP/IP was first proposed 15 years ago based on when this paper was written. It was developed by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency and has been used widely in military and commercial systems. While there have been papers and specifications that describe how the protocol works, it was sometimes difficult to deduce from this why the protocol is as it is. Introduction. For the last years, the Advanced Research Projects Agency of the U.S. Department of Defense has been developing a suite of protocols for packet switched networking. The ideas developed in this effort have also influenced other protocol suites, most importantly the connectionless figuration of the ISO protocols. The Internet architecture is still evolving. Sometimes a new extension challenges one of the design principles, but in any case, an understanding of the history of the design provides a new necessary context for current design extensions. Fundamental goal. The top-level goal of the DARPA Internet architecture was to develop an effective technique for multiplexed utilization of existing interconnected networks. Some elaboration is appropriate to make clear the meaning of the goal. The original goal was to connect together the original ARPANET with the ARPA packet radio network. The first aspect of this fundamental goal was the assumption of the particular technique for interconnection these networks. Since the technique of store and forward packet switching as demonstrated in the previous DARPA project, the ARPANET, was well understood, the top-level assumption was that networks would be interconnected by a layer of Internet packet switches, which were called gateways. Second-level goals. First, the Internet communication must continue despite loss of networks or gateways. Second, the Internet must support multiple types of communication service. Third, the Internet architecture must accommodate a variety of networks. Fourth, the Internet architecture must permit distributed management of its resources. Fifth, the Internet architecture must be cost-effective. Sixth, the Internet architecture must permit host attachment with a low level of effort. Seventh, the resources used in the Internet architecture must be accountable. Survivability in the face of failure. Despite the fact that survivability is the first goal in the list, it is still second to the top level of interconnections of existing networks. A more survivable technology might have resulted from a single multimedia network design. Other goals. The three goals discussed so far were those which had the most profound impact on the design on the architecture. The remaining goals, because they were lower in importance, were perhaps less effectively met or not so completely engineered. Architecture and implementations. The previous discussion clearly suggests that one of the goals of the Internet architecture was to provide wide flexibility in the service offered. The Internet architecture tolerates variety of realization by design. However, it leaves a great deal of engineering to do. Datagrams. The fundamental architecture feature of the Internet is the use of datagrams, the entity which is transported across the underlying networks. It is important to understand that the role of the datagram in this respect is as a building block and not as a service it itself. TCP. There were several interesting and controversial design decisions in the development of TCP, and TCP itself went through several major versions before it became a reasonably stable standard. But again, the motivation for the decision is sometimes lacking. In retrospect, it may have been the correct idea to incorporate into TCP some means of relating the sequence space and the buffer management algorithm of the host. At that time, the designers simply lacked the insight to see how that might be done in a sufficiently general manner. Conclusion. While the datagram has served very well in serving the most important goals of the Internet, it has not served so well when we attempt to address some of the goals which were further down to the priority list. Thank you.